Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back, but I think it's a separate stream. All right, if you are just now joining me, the stream cut off. So let's see. All right, that was OBS being like, "Nah, I'm good." Yeah, Eddie, I don't know what happened to the last one. I was just reading your comment, and let me actually go. I can't go back. Eddie, you were saying. I was thinking the internet broke again. Oh, it broke again. It broke again on my side. Eddie, you were talking about editing with or shooting with log on the GH4. Can you tell me what you were mentioning again? I'm going to go back over to Davinci. I need to get better at that. All right. Quippy says, yeah, I think it could be the processing of DaVinci taking toll on the processing of the live stream and in the editing. Yeah, probably. Probably. If it cuts out again, we may call the stream early tonight. Plus, I do need to film the review. So I'm going to convert these. Yeah, so the vlog GH4 was not that sharp as sounding like D is. Someone told me that GH4 is not 10-bit capable, just 8-bit. I think the GH4, yeah, is only 8-bit. I think even if you do like a Atomos Ninja, it's still only 8-bit. I think that was a big thing with the GH5 was it converted, it allowed you to do 10-bit in some scenarios. Oh, I really like this shot. I think I thought I was overexposed previously, but I think this might be way underexposed. Yup. But hey, raw, I could probably push it. But if anything, I've got the other shot, so I'll use that. I like this. It has like steam coming out. So good over OC, what's up, man? What's up? I'm excited. OC, when's your video coming out tomorrow? Is it noon my time? Your OBS was exactly like my Premiere. Yeah, I'm good. Close, bro. Philip says, I just joking with you, bud. I really enjoy what you do. You really have helped me more than know. Keep up the good work. Philip, did you make a joke and I didn't get it in the stream? I feel like I missed something. But Philip, thank you. I'm glad the channel has helped and appreciate it. OC is dropping a video Sunday, 9 a.m. Central. What I want everyone to do right now is I want everyone to go over to OC Imaging's channel, set a reminder. He has a video coming out Sunday. It's a wedding video. OC, no pressure. Quippy, I have to agree with Philip. Thanks, Quippy. I'm glad that you guys are finding some benefit from the channel. A lot of times I'm like, am I doing anything of value here? So I like just making content, and I'm glad you guys are here along for the ride. So thank you very much. Yeah, OC's first, I think it's OC's first wedding video. So I'm pumped on it. I need to go set a reminder. I'm going to do that here in just a minute. I know that I'm going to be checking out. You're in my feed. So let's see. Okay, this shot, I don't know if this shot's going to actually even look good. This shot was interesting. So this is why I had the camera on a gimbal. OC biting nails. Yeah, man, no pressure. But I had this on a gimbal and just like, I was in the parking deck and I was like, you know what? I just want to get a shot where like I use this wall as a foreground. I'm using my hand. I don't know. I'm using my hand, but using this wall as a foreground, and I'm going to just like come out of the parking garage just a little bit, like almost like a pan out type of thing, or rather push out, and try to get some of the street. Is this the shot that I did? That it might have been the shot before. Let's see. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah. And I try to get one where there's actually some cars. This one made me nervous. I literally was on like the 4th floor of the parking deck, and I was like, I really hope I don't drop my camera. I think it's actually this shot. Yeah. No, I thought I had one where there were cars. Come on. Let the magic happen. Maybe I didn't. Oh, well. All right, I'm going to convert all these. And then what I'm going to do... So Eddie, OC, it's not OC's first video. OC actually has a really dope channel. He does a lot of good product reviews as well. You should definitely check it out. It's his first wedding video. So we're all pumped on it to see what magic happens on that video. I don't like this shot. That's in the way there. I try to get that building from a different angle. Nope. Hate that shot. I don't even know what this shot is. Oh, there it is. Yes. Yes. I think if I slowed that down. I don't know what I was doing at the end there. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. Let's convert that over to BM color space. This one was my moody shot of the... I had a couple moody shots of the night. This one was definitely one of those. I like the framing. It's always good when you can get somebody a frame in a frame scenario. So this was my frame within a frame. I think one of them, yeah, that one's super underexposed. That one might work. I'm learning how to expose for knowing that I'm going to go into a black magic color space and do more like log. Because it basically, like, the way the FP records, it records in a almost like what it looks like a baked color. So it actually, there's a teal and orange profile, which is usually why I color grade in, because it's just easy. But it basically overexposes everything. And so I have to kind of like, I'm sure eventually once I get these shots where I want them, it will ultimately look like it did when I shot it. But it's just something that, like, at first just plays tricks with my mind. So let's see here. I don't know if I'll use this shot. It's kind of, it's meh. Not really impressed with it. This shot surprisingly took way longer than I wanted it to. I don't even know if I like it. I don't know if I like it, and here's why. Recommend all of Tony Day's video. I haven't checked out Tony Day. I need to do that. I think, Eric, did you talk about Tony Day last? Like, I feel like I've heard of Tony Day before, and I need to check him out. But I'll definitely need to do that. Eddie says, this reminds me when I filmed, sorry, old man eyes over here. This reminds me when I filmed a music video, somebody used a mirror. Ooh, I'll get to that in just a second. Like filming the mirror subject getting slowly back. It felt like getting out of that mirror, literally. That's dope. I just watched a video for one of my favorite bands called the Fever 333. They're very, like, I wouldn't say they're like an indie band. I feel like they're kind of popular. They're backed by Travis Barker, and they're like basically like a smaller mega band from other small bands. It's a really weird scenario. But they did a music video They just dropped today, and literally the entire video. It's more like a lyric video, which I feel like people put out lyric videos because they want the music on YouTube, and they just kind of put some like imagery to it, which I'm down for. That creates a whole new market of videos, which kind of caters to my skill set. I actually made kind of like a teaser lyric video for my nephew, which I may put on the channel at some point. I love those types of videos. But basically, the whole thing was shot with a mirror, 2 mirrors, and it was really weird how it worked out. You should just check it out. Maybe I'll put a link below after everything processes. But really cool. It's called, I think it's called like Walk Through the Fire Together or something like that. Really dope video. Really just kind of like a different way of approaching it. Eric said he recommends color space transform to Rec 709, then LUT for easy color grade. Yeah, Tony Day is the best. Definitely recommend him. Definitely checking him out. I'm assuming because we're bringing this up that he uses Davinci for color grading. Rec 709 to LUT in between CST and LUT you can do your yes. Oh, yes. Between CST. Yeah. Color space transform and LUT, you can do your color grade. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have used the supplied LUT from Blackmagic a couple times, and it's actually, I'm like, I don't really need to do anything with this. So I can drop a link to that video. Do that. Eddie, definitely drop the link to that video. I'd love to check it out. All right, so let me change this. Let me see, because I feel like this light's a little blown out. That may work. I think when I was seeing it, and that was a little bit overexposed. Here's where this has an issue for me, as composition-wise. I don't like that this light cuts into this building. It's almost like they're battling for that space. I liked the idea of the light kind of like projecting on me, which I have a shot where it's a different angle. It's just this angle, it feels like there's a battle between what's in this space of the frame here. I'm just not a huge fan of it. I may still use it, but we'll see. I think I have a couple shots where I'm like not sure what the hell is happening. Filming yourself is a challenge sometimes because you have to do the shot like 3 or 4 different times. Oh, there's some, I think there's some flaring there. I haven't done a flaring test for this lens. I need to. I think this is the one I wanted to use. Yeah, I'm into that. I loved the halation from the Black Pro Mist. I'm gonna save that from the Black Pro Mist on these lights. It just amazing. Clip. My second music video where I struggle with the 25. Is that the Eddie? Is that the Lumix 25mm f1.7? I like that lens. If it is, I like that lens. I used it for a couple weeks. I'm gonna actually see what happens if I change. Nope. Let's do floor. No. Nah, it's definitely fluorescent. I had the white balance good before. Yeah, Eddie, it's a decent lens. I have a confession. I struggle with 35mm equivalent. I struggle getting inspired with that. I know that's not what you were using because it's 25 on GH4, which is roughly about 50mm, and I love 50. But my struggle right now is 35. I'm like, everybody loves 35 because it's like a street focal length, and I feel like that fits a lot of the projects that I do. I can't get inspired with it, and I'm not feeling it. It's just not gonna happen. Just not. So that was one thing. I love that 7 Artisans lens that I tested a couple weeks ago. I just couldn't get behind it. Yep. My light definitely died. Great. I needed that for the review. Amazing. That's the only downside of recording my review after these live streams is like my lights are like, I'm done. I need you to charge me. I think I have another one charging. Eddie says, yeah, but in a tight space with a crop, it is a little bit tricky. Yeah, 25 in a tight space, or rather 50 in a tight space, is 100% hard, very hard to compose those shots. I'm right there with you. Let's see, I don't remember this shot. This may be, I think, yeah. So I liked this one. I can't remember. Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is when I had, I think, the gimbal on a tripod. And no, on the gimbal on a tripod. The camera on a gimbal, and it was like basically on the ground. So that's why it's a little bit higher up, which I kind of dig because the moon's there. Nope, it's not saving that moon. But then I put this on a tripod and get a little bit more level, and I'm into that. But I was like, I don't really feel the complete side profile here, so I went a little bit angled on this shot, which I think I like a little bit better. I'm not entirely sure. Switch to Panasonic. Eddie says, switch to Panasonic a couple of months ago from Canon M50. Good camera. Good camera. When I have an idea, the crop says, nope. think another way. I'll tell you, 2.2 times crop can be challenging sometimes. It's the only reason why, like, I love my Pocket 4K. It's the only reason why I would potentially use the FP as an A camera, because more shallow depth of field, because it's full frame, which I don't want. I don't really want to be in that bandwagon of like full frame is the best, because it's not. But if I'm in a tight space, I need shallow depth of field, I'm probably using the FP. Okay, so these are the last couple shots I'm going to convert here. I need you guys to know. I worked out more in this shoot. I used to be a very active person. Then when I really got aggressive with this YouTube channel, my gym days narrow. But being diagnosed with diverticulitis, so a small case of diverticulitis last week, I realized I probably should go back to the gym, relative probably my like driveway, and work out a little bit. But all that to say, I should probably work out some more. But this one, so let me explain this shot. Eric got to go. Did you call me your bestie, Eric? That's so nice. Thanks, man. Good luck with the grade. I look forward to watching this video. Eric, I hope you enjoy. This is actually not the creative stuff I'm doing this week, and I really hope you guys dig the creative stuff. Barring my daughter just like hijacking tomorrow, or like we actually announce a president tomorrow, I will be doing that shoot tomorrow at some point. So I'm pretty pumped on that. But Eric, thanks for stopping in, man. Bestie. Warms my soul. Okay. And also, these won't get fully graded until Sunday. I want to put these in the color space, get them in a place I like them as a canvas, and then I'll shoot the review, do some more filming tomorrow, and then color grade everything Sunday night. Okay, this shot. I don't even know if I really like this composition. I actually don't. I remember this shot, seeing it in the LCD, and I was like, this is very underwhelming. So basically, you can see here. No, I just did that one. But you can see here where I'm like on a ledge, kind of. So basically what I did is this is a parking garage. All of this shoot was on a parking garage, but I basically put the camera on one of the lower levels right before you get to the uncovered part of the parking garage, that top floor. And so I put the camera there, shot up to the kind of like a ledge where people can park right above it. But the difficulty in it is because I did that, I basically had to set up the camera, press record, because I haven't found a remote system for the FP yet, but press record. And then if you notice right here, here's some wiring, and it basically is what divides the different levels. And so I had to set up camera, press record, run around the divide all the way up to the ledge there. And there's a little bit of a divide in that ledge as well. And so I just like ran up there, did my spot, and came back. And you can't really tell because I'm smaller right here, but I was like, all for the art. OC says, I can hardly wait to have a camera with a log profile. Log is pretty dope. The FP doesn't have a log profile, but it shoots RAW, so you really don't need that. And then when you convert it over to the color space transformation to the Blackmagic, it basically puts it in their log profile. This was one I wanted that divide wiring as a frame as well. So I got it framed up like right here where I come into shot. Oh, nope. There we go. That first one. Oh, come on. You had it right the first time. I think at the end. There we go. At the end, I'm right there. I like that. So you've got me kind of almost on the third, right there, the right third, in that type of like foreground framing. Oh, I'm pretty pumped on that one. I always love when you can get creative with framing and just composition in general. That is the hardest part of pushing yourself as a filmmaker, artist in general, photographer, is just composition. And that's really any art. I mean, you don't even have to be a photographer, videographer, filmmaker to deal with composition. I mean, if you paint, draw, you're dealing with composition as well. Composition is something that like I have really tried to work on the past year of not just like pointing the camera at something that looks nice or finding something that looks nice. Composition can actually make something that doesn't look amazing look really cool. It makes you, I mean, it can make or break your shot. And so like, it's one thing I've been focusing a lot on this year is just composition. So, yeah. Let's see. OC says, learning something new every day, so it's raw or log. Yeah. Well, so, yeah. So when a camera shoots raw, if it's especially Cinema DNG, which the FP does, that is an uncompressed RAW. So the Blackmagic shoots RAW, but it's a compressed RAW. It's a highly compressed RAW. And so there may not be as much data as a Cinema DNG file. And so, but having something like Cinema DNG, or for that matter, a compressed version of RAW, you know, you can correct a lot of things that you do in post. You know, for example, like I can change, like if I change this white balance, like in some editor, in some clips, in some files, if you start changing the white balance like this, it will just look awful. But the thing is, these raw Cinema DNG files, it's just data. Like you've got just data, and it's not baking in a specific thing. I think you don't want to like, the FP has a huge issue with blowing out highlights. And so you want to protect, I tend to in general protect highlights. I think it looks more cinematic when you protect the highlights to where you're not blowing out your highlights, where you preserve those. I do that to a fault sometimes, where I will sometimes more so crush the shadows while preserve the highlights. And so that's kind of I don't want to say my style. A lot of people do that. They preserve the highlights. But I don't know where I was going with that thought. But with something like Cinema DNG, if I were to have blown out the highlight, I mean, you can see was that first shot that I had where, I mean, if I take this out of the Blackmagic color space, like that is gone. That's gone. But because it's raw, it most likely collected that data. And I wouldn't say all the time. You don't want to necessarily like make it a practice of blowing out your shots, but it collected that data. And so if I switch that over now, it has, if I can find the right tab, it has the data that I need to use it. Now, the reason why some people don't like this camera is because it doesn't have a log profile, which if you're using just the 8-bit version of the camera, I can understand that. Because basically with it, the reason why log is great is because it's collecting all that data still. It's not doing it in as robust of a job as raw does. But it still is collecting as much data as possible. That's why you see log images and they're without color, they're really flat, and that's just because it's basically not baking a specific color or style in it. It's just collecting data at that point for you to do whatever you want to do in post. So a lot of people don't like the FP because it doesn't have a log profile on the non-raw side of things, because once you get in raw, then it kind of doesn't matter. But with just the 8-bit version of the because it does a .mov or all-i, it does a .mov file, which is either all-i or GOP. That's right. But there's no log profile on it. So like if you have whatever look you have in camera, it's done basically. It's not done. It's just harder to work with. But I mean, honestly, I'm shooting 1080 in RAW. It's not a huge deal. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Let's see. We got some comments. Let's see. Eddie says, I'm curious about how the sound design will be for the video that you are color grading right now. Curious. Focused Films. Good evening, sir. Checking in from Atlanta, Georgia. You guys are having a fun time down there right now. Not jealous. Apparently NC just decided to not do anything. But Atlanta, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think I went to Atlanta when I was, because I grew up in Florida. I went to Atlanta like once for a Braves game. And other than that, my parents love going to Savannah. But I love Georgia. I need to go back. Sound design. Eddie was asking about sound design. Okay, this is my other initiative this year, is to get better at sound design, because I don't want to just be like, putting in a sound like a background track and just doing silent B-roll. So that's kind of a focus this year. I will say like I probably started this project for this video too late in the week for me to really have time to focus a lot on sound design. So I don't know how much sound design will work. It will most likely probably be some 80s type style music. So you can look forward to that. That's kind of what I've been into lately. So OC, thanks. I listened to every word. OC, you're the man. This is why I'm checking out your video on Sunday and try to be the first comment. I have a 3-year-old. I don't know how successful I'll be on that. Cool. All right. So yeah, I got all the clips over to the Blackmagic color space. These will get curated. Some will get used, some won't. I'll have to kind of figure out at what point, I figure out which ones I want to use. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. I got to figure out what is happening in our world right now. Focus Film says, sound design is my main focus right now. Focus Film, that is kudos on you. I think there is a huge neglect for sound design in general, not just on YouTube, but in general. So that's one thing I want to get better at. I just don't have an ear for it a lot, but I want to get better at that. I want to get well versed in it. Color grading has been something I've been trying to get a lot better at. Understanding how to grade properly and things like that. I feel like, especially in Davinci, I've got a little bit of a hang on it. And so the bigger thing for me is getting better at sound design. So Quippy says, thanks, bro. Sorry editing some wedding pics while listening to you. Honestly, I really hope no one is actually actively watching the stream because, well, I guess I'm editing some stuff so it can be somewhat entertaining. But I generally think that people are just listening. So thank you very much I'm glad I can be the voice behind your edit, Quippy. Eddie says, hopefully you guys will get to visit my country one day. Romania, here at 3:57 a.m. Why are you still doing up? I'm just editing, enjoying coffee stream. 3:57 edit. I don't blame that. So You gotta do it when you can do it. Funny enough, Eddie, I've actually been somewhere relatively in that area of the world. When I was in high school, I was over in Hungary. Love that part of the world. Definitely want to go back at some point. So yeah, maybe it'll happen. And if it does, I'll hit you up and we'll have a coffee. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna go make sure our country isn't burning down right now, and go film a review. Had diverticulitis last week. Got a review out. Have presidential chaos going on this week. Hopefully, get a video out. I really do care about this community. So, Quippy says, yeah, things get better. You should come the Far East. Have you been in the Far East? I have not been in the Far East. I've been a lot of different places, but I think the most west I've been is California. The most, if I'm going more east, kind of Hungary in that area. So I need to get farther out. I need to explore the world. So maybe when my daughter goes to college and I retire, and my wife and I retire, we'll make it out there. Or if I blow up on YouTube and just get to travel a bunch. I'll read a couple more. So can I send you some content to critique Focus Films? Yeah, absolutely. Shoot me an email, Anson & Co. or hello@ansonandco.com. If you can't remember that, just check out my Instagram and send me a link to something, and we'll make that happen. Absolutely. Thank you for letting me give you some advice, some opinion. I won't even say advice, but opinion. And then OC says, all right, stay safe. Wash those hands. And on that note, absolutely. You guys be safe. Stay safe. Focused. Hold Atlanta down. I know it's crazy over there right now. But you guys stay safe. Wash those hands. I'll see you here next time. Peace.